Good morning. Shout out to Connor in my third period who made this Mr. X math class. As you can see, it says M-A-T-H in numbers. I thought that was pretty cool. So if you have any more drawings or creations you made, send it on to me. I love using them and I love to see your guys' creativeness. So yesterday we talked a little bit about surface area of a cylinder. I had a lot of questions. Please watch the video all the way and take some notes. The biggest thing is the formulas are going to help you solve all the problems. Okay, so we're going to get right to it. Today we're going to find the surface area of a cone. Let me zoom in on that. So a cone. Think of an ice cream cone. A normal, regular ice cream. I don't have any ice cream cones at my house, or I bring one up. But that's what I think of when I think of a cone. So it looks like this. Okay? And again, we're using a formula. The formula is going to be pi, which we know that pi is 3.14. For all the exercises today, we're using 3.14. Okay? Our radius, remember that's halfway across the circle. And then the length. Okay, this is our slant length. The length down on our cone, plus pi, which we know is 3.14, and then radius squared. So radius, and you're going to square it. Remember, you have two parts. This first part is this triangle area, and then the second part is the circle. Okay, so you're using the formula. That is going to be the biggest help, is that you're just using the formula. And you want to remember that if I'm given the diameter, we need to cut it in half. We only use radius. Okay, so let's go on to some examples. Okay, so our first example. I've got my cone, it's sideways, but that's okay. We can still use it. I'll kind of fill this in so you can see more. This is the circle on the bottom. So we have our formula. I just wrote our formula again so that it's right above what we're using. So if you're at home, what you need to do is write out the formula for every problem, okay? If you're doing that on your computer, then you can write, I would use a piece of paper and write down if you can't figure out how to write onto the screen. So we have pi, which you know is 3.14, and then we're going to have our radius, okay? So our radius is 3. Halfway across the circle, this little line right here is 3. So we put that in here. And then our length. What is our length? Our length is 7, right? This long part across the top of the cone. That's going to be 7. And then if I'm going back down here, we already know what pi is, so we don't have to fill that in. And then our radius is 3, so we fill that in. Okay? So if I were you, what I would do is at home is draw this portion out right here. Okay? You put the things we don't know, you put parentheses around, and then you can just write it out like this. All right? And then we plug it into our calculator. Okay, so we're going to get our calculator and we are going to plug it in. So pi is 3.14. Remember, we're multiplying. Okay, so all of this first portion right here is we're multiplying all of that times 3 times 7. And that's going to be 65.94. And then our next portion, remember it gets a little tricky when we have the square. So we're going to square this first because we always exponents, remember PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents. So we do exponents first, and we know that 3 squared is just 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 is 9. You guys hopefully should know that. And then 9 times pi, which is 3.14. If you always forget what pi is, this is the most important thing. You know, you should be taking all these notes, but if you don't, at least take this first portion of notes. Okay, so we know that pi is 3.14, and we have 28.26. And what we do with that is we add them. Okay, so 28.26 plus 65.94. And what I get is 94.2. And we want to look back and see what our units are. And my units are inches, so I put inches squared. Again, if you have any questions, I hear a lot of people saying, I don't understand or I don't know. I can't help you if I don't know what you don't understand. So either we can have a Zoom meeting, and I would love to have that with you guys, but you have to tell me what you don't understand. Okay, so that is the first portion of your IXL problems. The next portion is going to have to deal with when you are given the diameter. Remember, we don't want to use diameter. Okay, so always use radius. Remember, radius is halfway across. So what I do is I divide 6 in half. So half of 6 is 3. So our radius equals 3 centimeters. And maybe if I want to help myself out, I can write my L, or my length. What is my length? It's 4 centimeters. All right. So I know my unknown variables right here. That's what I'm going to plug into my formula. And like I said before, I'm writing the formula out for every single problem. You guys got some time, so write it out. And then put parentheses around the things you don't know, and then you plug it in. So our radius, we know our radius is 3, and we know our length, we said, was 4. And our radius, we know our radius, we just said, was 3. Okay, now we've got all the things that we need. Now we're going to go back to our handy dandy calculator, and we're going to start with the first portion, which is pi, which is 3.14, times 3, remember this is multiplication, times 4, which is 37.68. Okay? Then we're going to add, remember, always do the exponent first. So 3 times 3, we knew from the last problem, is 9. Okay, so I'll put that there. And I'm going to have pi 3.14 times 9. And that's 28.26. And I could have looked back at my other problem and saw that as well, but I wanted to write it out for you guys. Now we're going to add it. So plus 37.68 equals 65.94. And I look back at my units. I see that my units are centimeters. So then I would have centimeters squared. I'm also going to put another video in the description if you're a little confused, and you can always type into YouTube if you don't understand how I did it. You can always type in surface area of a cone, and they have some other ways that are explained as well. So if you have any questions, Google Classroom, I'm always on there, and you can also email me or shoot me a text. Talk to you guys later. Bye.